be able to do a long video on this because it's too loud, but basically I am cutting rushes at another place that we got. So they were left last year and couldn't get here, and they're so bloody hard now. I'm having to go over them in reverse like this, half up, and then go over them in forwards because it's too much for the topper otherwise. Couldn't take this topper, I wouldn't fancy falling in it though, I've got to say. We're on the fast track today. It's a long, slow, hellish slow job, because if you try to speed up a bit, you are giving too much pressure on the machine and the fast track, so you end up the belt's going to slip or whatever. So that's the reality of topping rushes, I suppose. I think we might need to go over this in a dip mode with the discs or even plough it, I think, like that. There we are, look. I can't do it all the time, I've got to watch what I'm doing, okay? I don't know if you can hear me. I've got my microphone on, but maybe that's good. Lovely day here. I'm busy topping these fields. I've got to have the window open because when you're topping like this, you can hit a stone and destroy the thing in a second. As I said before, I'm topping these rushes and all fed ground, and I need to reverse over it higher up so it's about a foot high, and then come over it forwards like I'm doing now, slow, and then it'll chop it up into small bits, and I can disc it then or even plough it, because if you try to plough it as it is, the plough would get blocked up over. Very, very monotonous job, but there we are, it's got to be done. Hope you can hear me over this big row, but fast track sounds quite well at the moment. There's some weird shit going on around the world at the moment with wars and things. I was talking to a friend of mine who was in the services. I went out on Saturday night just to see one of the friends that contacted me on here for a couple of hours, and I met my military mate as well. He's a lovely lad. He's out with the forces now, but he was in Afghanistan and Iraq and things, and he used to send me his letters because there wasn't much with mobile phones and stuff and internet then. And they used to call them blueies, which was blue letters that you writ on, and then you sent them, they turned into an envelope. And he always used to keep in contact with me, and to this day, he's one of my best mates. And we might not see each other for 6 months, 12 months, but as soon as we see each other, it's instantly like a friend, like when we were in school. And the reason I've changed my feelings on war to what I used to be like is because of watching what he went through as a teenager and later in life. I think you should, under all circumstances, try not to send people to war, because throughout my life there's only been one war, the Falklands War, that was a just war in my opinion, and everything else that has followed has caused all these immigration problems, all these deaths in Afghanistan, and all the hatred towards the UK was decided there. Lots of servicemen, like a friend of mine, had mental problems through no fault of his own, just seeing what he saw, and just makes me sad. It makes me very sad. Lots of people now who send in people off to war really haven't experienced it itself, and I think that's what the problem is. Too many people want to go to war in universities, and politicians who don't have to go there. Their kids don't have to go there, their grandkids don't have to go there, because they always find a way to fucking squeal out of it. Now, my friends, when I was left school, I intended to go to the military myself. 7 or 8 of my friends went, and most of the people in my friends in my school went to the military because there was nothing much to do in our area. People wanted to be in the forces, but I don't think that's the same now, because people see the governments are just sending people to war for reasons like Iraq, really, to get oil. When Ukrainian case, what they're doing is trying to get minerals to make these batteries. The week before Trump came into power, the UK signed that deal with Ukraine to take all its minerals, and they've sunk billions into it. They sunk billions into it, and now the Russians have got the pieces of ground where these minerals are. That's what it's all about. So I just hate to see the thousands of people dying just for money at the end of the day. Resources and money. We saw it in Afghanistan, we saw it in Iraq. Fucking horrible. Now we got Israel now. I don't usually talk about this now, but my dad went to see Belsen concentration camp and a couple of others when he was in Germany in the forces. And he always said that was the most harrowing experience he'd seen, because remember, this was in the 60s and it was only 20 years after it had all happened. It wasn't a place like it is now where it's all been done up, because still then has it happened. And it was harrowing, he said. It was the most horrible place he'd ever been. So from then on, he had it drilled into me. I'm not Jewish or anything. You don't want to let that happen again. So people like to call me right-wing or whatever, but I ain't anti-Jew at all. Some of the leaders make some daft decisions. I think maybe in this Palestinian thing they've made a few things that have been wrong. I certainly wouldn't have made it, but at the end of the day, if it comes down to supporting Israel or Palestine, I'm an Israel supporter. Fuck the Palestinians. Because all they want to do is basically destroy us. Now, you have to remember that Israel, that certain thing that happened years back, they basically tried to remove them from the face of the planet. Whether you like that or not, that's what Israel are afraid of. That's the reality of it. Now, if you had a country like that have forced you... Hold on a minute. If you've got a country like that and you're sandwiched between Iran and Palestine, and these people are attacking you left, right and centre. They sent their missiles over. They started it, not Israel. It'll probably upset a few, but this is how I feel. If somebody did that to the UK, you'd fucking flatten them. You would fucking flatten them. If France did that to us, we would attack them with everything. No mercy whatsoever. Now that's where I think war should be. If you decide to go to war, you go to war. You don't go there and mess around like with Starmer and that now. So, for instance, in Ukraine, they're letting all the other people get killed there not sending our own troops in, because we haven't got any. We haven't got enough troops to half fill the stadium. And I'm not running the troops down, I'm running the governments down that have put us in this position by wasting money. Now, all governments of all sides for the last couple of decades have just been throwing money around, wasting it around, like in the pandemic, immigration, you name it, and they've run our forces down into such a state when we're vulnerable, really vulnerable. So with this, what's happened now in Iran, I can totally see why Israel did it if they thought there was a nuclear weapon, because them lot would push that button tomorrow. You know that, I know that. They are extremist nutcases. And if it comes down to the line, I will support Israel before that lot. So that's my thinking on this. You might not like it, but that's what it is. Now, whoever started that lot, what's happened in Palestine, they shouldn't have attacked Israel at that time. That's what I think. If they hadn't have attacked them, none of this would happen. None of it. Israel is, like I said, they were trying to be wiped out once, and they said never again. And that's what they're doing now. They ain't having it. So, I think people need to wake up in this country. They need to fucking wake up. And my friend was talking similar about this, and he'll fucking wake up to what happened back there at the end of World War II when they were gas chambers that were around. Because if that was the other way around now, then people over the border from Israel would be stuffing them back in there. And that's the fact. Too many people in the UK now have been taken along on this ride by this university